Hey, everybody, we're going to spend a few minutes talking about walking your dog on a leash and taking walks. So, there are two very important and very different kinds of walks that dogs need to be able to do, right? And one of them is, of course, to walk by our side politely without pulling. If you're in obedience competition or if you're in dog sports, that needs to be very focused, what we call heeling with attention, where the dog is very precision at our left side while turning their head and looking up at us and making eye contact while they're heeling, being able to go sideways between our legs and around. But for most pet owners, what we want is a dog that will walk comfortably at your left side without pulling the leash tight. And that's really all there is to it. They don't have to be craning their head around and watching us to make eye contact every second. They don't have to look like they're on a military drill team. We just need to be able to walk with our dog holding a loose leash the way we would walk with our kids or a life partner, holding hands, walking together, neither really leading nor lagging behind, just a side-by-side team walk. So that's what one kind of a walk that we want to take with our dogs, making sure that our dog learns not to pull, to walk with us on a loose leash. For that kind of walk, I like to attach the lead to the collar or to the front clip of a front attach harness. We want that attachment here. But there's another kind of a walk that's equally important for our dogs to take every day, and that's a sniffy walk or an enrichment walk. When you think about dogs that are occurring in a natural environment, wild dogs, right? Foxes, wolves, coyotes, jackals, those dogs cover miles of territory a day. And they're exploring their environment while they do that, right? They're out checking the female and where have the other dogs been? Where have the deer been? Where have the bunnies been? And they really have a genetic need to do that, right? Jacques Penskep stated that one of the things our dogs have is what's called a seeking system. And that seeking system is genetically programmed and encourages the dog to seek novelty, to seek new things in their environment, right? And so this is a genetically programmed need that dogs have. So these sniffy walks where the dog is allowed to have a much longer leash, move away from us and sniff and see what's been going on in the neighborhood and explore. That's very, very important. We call those sniffy walks or enrichment walks. When you take a walk like that with your dog, you're not going to attach that lead here, which tells the dog, hey, we're going to be teamed up tight like we're holding hands. That's when you're actually going to use that back attach to that harness. And you also need to give your dog a verbal cue that it's okay for him to move away from you and to explore his environment. So with the team walking, I will tell my dog with me, and that means with me, the leash goes here, the dog walks by my side. When that leash is unclipped from here and it's clipped back there, I tell my dog, free dog, or you could also say sniffy walk. And you might use a different leash for that. You might use a 10, 15, even 20-foot long line, right? So that the dog can move out and explore his environment. So I hear a whole bunch of you saying, oh, I can use my retractable leash for that. Don't do that. I know that retractable leashes can be handy because the way they retract, right? That's the whole idea. But I want you to think about this. If you lose control of that handle and you drop it, that retractable nature of that leash is going to pull that handle right up to your dog, and it's going to slam and hit them right in the neck. And that scares a lot of dogs to death, and they take off running, and then they're afraid of the leash. On the other hand, if that snap comes loose from their collar, it's going to send that metal swivel, that metal clip from that leash flying at your face. And that can hit you, and people can really get hurt by retractable leads. Not to mention the fact that if you get into trouble and you don't have any way to really pull it in like you do with a regular leash, if you try to grab a hold of it, you've got that skinny little piece of nylon cord, that pulls through your fingers. Meanwhile, the dogs are getting all wrapped up in it. I know retractable leads feel like a great modern convenience, but they are a bad idea, and I encourage most people to put them down. So, some great rules. Do team walking with your dog. Do enrichment or sniffy walks with your dogs, and leave those retractable leashes at home, or better yet, throw it in the trash can, because that's where it belongs. Enjoy your walks.